All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the tech that could finally put an end to your Wi-Fi nightmares. It's called MU-MIMO, and it's all about making your network smarter and way, way faster, especially when everyone in the house is online at the same time.
You know the feeling, right? You're in the zone, deep into a game, streaming a movie in 4K, maybe you're on a super important video call. And then, boom, buffering. The dreaded lag monster strikes. It always seems to happen when your network is at its busiest. But why is that?
Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a massive traffic jam, but for your data. Every single device, your phone, your laptop, your TV, your console, is a car trying to merge onto the same one-lane highway. And when they all try to go at once, you get gridlock.
Now, your first instinct might be to blame your internet provider, right? But a lot of the time, the problem isn't the speed coming into your house. The real bottleneck is inside your house. It all comes down to how your router is playing traffic cop, and for a long time, it wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah, the technology responsible for this mess is something called MU-MIMO, and as you're about to see, those first two letters, SU, are the entire source of the problem.
So MU-MIMO stands for Single User, Multiple Input, Multiple Output. The keyword you really need to hear there is single user. Even with a bunch of devices connected, an MU-MIMO router could only actually talk to one of them at any given instant.
And this pretty much says it all. With MU-MIMO, your devices literally have to stand in line and wait their turn. Your laptop gets a piece of data, then your phone gets a piece, then the smart TV. Now, it switches between them incredibly fast, so for simple web browsing you might not notice. But when you have devices that are hungry for a lot of data, like for video streaming, that line gets really long, and those wait times create that awful, painful lag.
So if that's the old congested way, what's the solution? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in, MU-MIMO. This is the modern tech that was designed specifically to blow up that digital traffic jam.
And I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. MU-MIMO is stuck in the past, a single-user system that serves one device at a time. But MU-MIMO, that creates a multi-user free-for-all, talking to multiple devices at the exact same time. The result? You go from congestion and lag to pure speed and killer performance.
So yeah, the MU in MU-MIMO stands for multi-user, and it completely flips the script. Instead of making all your gadgets wait in that single file line, it cleverly splits your bandwidth into separate, dedicated lanes and pushes data to multiple devices all at once.
And this quote right here just nails it. The improvement is so huge that it genuinely feels like every device on your network gets its own personal, dedicated router. No more sharing, no more waiting.
Okay, so we get what it does, but how does it actually pull this off? I mean, how can one router talk to multiple devices at the same time without all the signals getting crossed and creating chaos? Well, the answer is actually really, really clever.
The secret weapon, the magic trick behind MU-MIMO, is a technique called beamforming, and it's just a much smarter way of sending out a Wi-Fi signal. Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around beamforming is with this simple comparison. Just think about the difference between a flashlight and a lantern. Your old router? It was a lantern. It just sprayed the Wi-Fi signal out everywhere in all directions. So much of that signal was completely wasted, just bouncing off walls where you had no devices. But a MU-MIMO router with beamforming? That's your flashlight. It actively finds where your devices are in the room and focuses a concentrated beam of Wi-Fi directly at them. The result is a much stronger, more stable, and way more efficient connection. So how many of these flashlights can a router point at once? Well, that depends on the number of streams it has, which usually lines up with how many antennas it's got. A 2x2 router can handle 2 devices at once. A 4x4 can handle 4. So you can think of the streams as how many dedicated beams your router can create simultaneously. More streams just means more capacity for everyone. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But how do you actually get this performance boost in your own home? It's not automatic. There are a few key things you need to check.
Right, so making this work is a team effort. First, and most importantly, your router has to support it. You'll want to look for Wi-Fi 5 Wave 2, or even better, something newer. Second, your devices, your phone, your laptop, they have to be compatible too. Good news is, most modern gadgets are. And finally, here's a key detail. For Wi-Fi 5, you must be connected to the 5 GHz band for MU-MIMO to kick in.
Now, MU-MIMO was a huge leap forward with Wi-Fi 5, but you know how technology goes. It never sits still. The next generation, Wi-Fi 6, takes this incredible tech and makes it even better. And Wi-Fi 6 gives MU-MIMO some serious upgrades. For starters, it now works for uploads, not just downloads. That is a massive deal for anyone on video calls, streaming on Twitch, or uploading big files. It also works on both the 2.4 and 5 GHz bands now, and it can support 8 or even more streams at once. It's a huge boost in capacity for our crazy connected home.
So there you have it. That's MU-MIMO. It's the technology that turns your Wi-Fi from a single-lane country road into a multi-lane superhighway. It's the difference between buffering and buttery smooth streaming. So the only real question left is, with all the devices we rely on today, is your home network still built for the traffic of the past, or is it ready for the future?